Lou, just tell me about the fourth quarter in particular, and just the execution that was required of your group coming off of all the energy that you put forth in the third to get right back there into the game, and what that took down the stretch.
Yeah, we had to finish the game. To give them runs, they make their run, we make our run. It got to a close game, so we just had a stack possession, and it went our way.
Lou, just thinking back to that fourth quarter, some of the plays you made, I think back to, I think it was Derek White you kind of collided with, but you chased down that loose ball. You get the transition dunk. Just considering, the few minutes before that, you're guarding KP, maybe the officials are looking at that matchup closely. Like, what's going through your head to make a play like the dive, the loose ball, knowing all the variables going into watching you in terms of the officiating?
Just got to keep playing, I can't really worry about the refs. I just got to stay in the game and do what I got to do for my teammates. I felt like it was a good opportunity for me to go for that ball, and I went. But it's always a physical game. The refs gonna make their calls, which is it's whatever. But I just got to stay in the game and do what I got to do for my teammates.
And then obviously you've been dealing with the finger thing for some weeks now, but you start 0 for 8 tonight. You finish, I think, 4 for 6. You make 3 threes straight. Do you think this is a performance you could have delivered maybe even a couple years ago?
I got more experience now. I couldn't tell you that for a couple years ago, but now I got more experience. I kind of know what it takes to win a game. I kind of know, what happens whenever I'm having a bad start. I know that I got to stay in the game and the ball gonna find me again, and a lot of trust to my teammates and the coach at the same time. Leaving me on the court just because they know I'm doing way more than just my offense. But I got to stay in the game and stay confident. I kind of know the shots I'm gonna get, and then the way they was guarding us towards the end. I knew the ball was gonna find me, so I just gotta stay in the game and shoot the ball with confidence.
Only allowed 27 points in the second half. What did you see from you guys that allowed you to turn things around defensively?
I felt like we just had to be a little bit more physical compared to the first half. We weren't small ball a little bit. It kind of helped, but we just had to compete and be a little bit more physical. That was it. I felt like there was a little too comfortable in the first half, and I wish we just turned up the energy in the second half, and it went well for us.
For you individually, defensively, we were just in here and I asked Mark about Jaylen Brown. He gets 21 points in the first half on 8 of 12 shooting. Second half, he goes 0 of 7, doesn't have a single set except for 2 turnovers. And I asked him what was the key, and he said putting Dort on him. So what did you see that changed in the second half? And what's it sort of like, I guess, switching on or guarding a guy who's sort of already got it going?
Well, it's not just me. It's the whole team. And like I said, the physicality was, I felt like they was too comfortable in the first half, which he was a big part of it. And we just had to amp up the physicality a little bit, get into the ball a little bit more. And, and really trusting the shell and the hell behind us. And we did that in the second half, and it worked.
Lou, what's going through your mind during that sequence of shays where he blocks Tatum in transition and then turns around and throws the lob to Hart?
Momentum plays. Whenever we go on a run like that, plays like that, helps. And just having your best player, doing it on both ends is crazy, The fact that he went up for that block and stay in the game and make another play offensively it's amazing. And it just brings the energy up for the whole team.
Speaking of the energy of the game, you've literally played it where no one's been in the building during the COVID years. Just talk about the crowd tonight and kind of what they do for you guys. You guys are about to go on the road, but they were pretty crucial both against New York and tonight.
Yeah, they're doing a lot. It's amazing, honestly, from looking back from that COVID year where, it was empty now to how loud they get and how they cheer for us. It gave us so much energy. Anytime, good game, bad games, anything, good start, bad start, they always got our back, and then we really love them and we appreciate what they do every game.
Lou,
Lou, you switched back here, Lou.
Yeah, I see.
You switched on to Jaylen Brown in the second half. What's that process like? Is it like super simple? Like coach just tells you that you're gonna get Jaylen Brown, or like is there a conversation that happens? Like how does that happen?
No. I kind of did it on my own, honestly. He had it going, and then we were switching anyways, and then I was like, you know what, let me start on him. So I did that, and we got so many great defenders, so we were switching anyways. But just me starting on him, being a little more physical, that was my approach, and he had the second half that he had, but that was my approach going into it.
Lou, over the course of your career, you've hit a number of big shots, starting with the bubble one, then you hit that one against San Antonio here with no fans. Over the course of your career, it's been sort of this growing lore of you being like big game Lou, some fans are calling you, and stuff like that. But Shea was talking about you've been that way since the day he met you. Is that something that you sort of just have always had, or is that something you developed growing up?
I feel like this something I always had in me, but with experience it just developed. Just knowing the game more, just being in those positions more, whenever it's time to make a big play, I just got to stay confident and ready to expect the ball or anything like that. I have been playing with guys that attract so many attention. So at some point, I know the ball's going to find me, so I got to be ready for it. So, credit to my teammates whenever we get in those type of situations. They get to find me, and I'm always ready.
You mentioned all the good perimeter defenders you guys have. For a guy like you that gets up for these big time games and playing against these big time players, is like a sigh of relief that you don't have to be the guy that has to guard the best player every single possession?
I don't want to say it's a relief. This whole defense thing is we doing it together. So whenever I'm not guarding a main guy, I still gotta be aware of being in the help or in the shell to have my teammates back. So it's still not easy, but we switching so much and we're doing so much, but I always gotta stay aware on the court on wherever I'm guarding.
Lou, do you remember any similarities between how Al Horford had set you up and now Hartenstein in the high post?
Say that again?
Do you remember any similarities of like playing off of Al Horford, in Oklahoma City and now Hartenstein?
Yeah, I mean, two pretty good bigs. Really good bigs. Al was a good passer, and then I think it was my second year that I was here with Al, and he was a really good leader, especially for me. The experience that he had and the players that he played with, and then he could have compared me to a couple players, and I just learned a lot from a guy like that, and it's just always good seeing him.